Hey everyone, so today I just wanted to film a really quick intro to this vlog. This is so informal, I don't even have lights set up. I'm just filming an intro because I never filmed one at the time of making this video. If you saw my last vlog, I was having a really crazy couple of weeks back in the summer. This is from August. Really hectic couple of weeks, just so much going on. I did the thing where like you make a lot of separate plans and then you don't realize that all of those plans are back to back, and suddenly I was barely home, and it coincided with when I was moving and when I was doing the end of an online course. So it was just a really hectic couple of weeks. So if you want the early context for a lot of what's going on in this vlog, you can check out the part 1 of that if you haven't seen it. This video is not a reflection of how my life normally is. I went to a music festival, I went paragliding, I went and stayed at a cabin, and then I went on a kayaking trip, and then I went to a family reunion, but that part's not shown because I didn't want to film my family. A lot happens, not a lot of it is writing. Also, to explain the paragliding, randomly in the middle of this video I go paragliding one day. My mom's boyfriend bought her a ticket to go paragliding for her birthday, and then my mom was like, why not make it a family affair? So one day I was visiting at home and my mom was just like, do you want to go paragliding next week? And I was like, that is the most random offer that has ever been presented to me, but yes. When you watch this vlog, just imagine that my whole life is like this, that this is representative of what my life always is, and then I would have like the most interesting life ever, but that ain't how it be. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. Hello friends, I am at my mom's place for the next couple days. So I got the final project today. It was posted at 9 a.m. today. I started working on it like literally 15 minutes after it was posted. It's currently 1 p.m. Let me tell you, it's worse than I thought. Like, it's more than I thought it would be. This project would be very difficult to get done in, how many days do we get? It would be hard to do in 5.5 days if you weren't going to a music festival and also moving. The only thing that is gonna maybe save my life is that the music festival doesn't start until 2 p.m. each day. It is like a 40-minute drive for us to get there. So we're just going in the evening today. We're not going until like 5:30. So still have like 4 more hours to keep working on this. Tomorrow, again, we're not going until like the evening. So it's only gonna be Sunday that we're gonna be there the whole day. And even then, it still only starts at 2. So I'll still have like the morning that I can wake up and work on this. So maybe I can do it. Oh, my dog just did a giant stretch and it was really cute. Anyways, that's really all there is to say.
You're confusing with your riddles and you're surging around. Say, call me in the afternoon, even by one. Call me in the afternoon, even by one. Really wanna get into it. Starting at the shop by your white dirty pants on. I'm over you.
It's July 29th. Yesterday was my last day at the music festival. Today is a day of just working. Festival was really fun. As you can see, I have a sunglasses tan. Don't love that. It was a good time. All the bands were good. Half Moon Run was a religious experience. I got the front row, which was great and wonderful and transcendent. So yeah, I'm just gonna go deal with my crisis. Thanks for watching this vlog, folks. Wish there was more writing and less me doing school, moving, and going to concerts, which seemed to be most of it, but it be like that sometimes. So I actually don't think I drafted anything. Did I draft anything in this vlog? I don't think I did. I like edited two things briefly. This vlog is me thriving and dying. I thought I would include a moment of thriving because it's going to be mostly dying from here on out. I have a lot of things I need to do today. My project is due at 4, so in about 6 hours I have to script so many videos for work because I'm not going to be here to film because I'm going on like a camping trip, so I have to do a ton of prep. And tomorrow and Friday are the only days that I can film for the last time in a long time. So that means I have to script like 4 videos to film. I went out and got myself something, not really as a treat to myself, but more because there's no food in our house right now. So I got myself a cinnamon bun. You see that, folks? That is a fully vegan cinnamon bun. Yes, which makes me very happy. I also got myself some matcha because bottoms up, folks. Let's caffeinate ourselves and get on that grind. It's August 2nd, so it's the Friday, and it's about, it's almost 2 right now. So today I am going to the cabin. It's the cabin that I was at for my vlog, the woodsy one, you know, had like a green thumbnail. I'll link it in the cards. Anyways, it's been very busy getting ready to go. I have a really busy next couple of weeks. Currently I have unpacked my room. I filmed with my new background for the first time today, which was so exciting. Is that today I'm going to the cabin until Tuesday, and my goal at the cabin is to finish the last chapter in part 1 of Honey Vinegar, which is called Blood Moon. I'm going there until Tuesday, and then I'm going back to stay at my mom's place for a couple days, and then the next weekend we are departing once again to go on a 3-day kayaking trip. So it's gonna be the 3rd year in a row that we've done it. Basically, you just pack all your shit into a kayak out to an island to live on the island for 3 days. It's pretty great. And then after we go kayaking, we're going back to my aunt's place because we're having a giant family reunion of like the whole family. It's gonna be a really busy 2 weeks. I'm probably only really gonna write this. Well, no, I can write next week. There's not gonna be a lot of writing, but it's gonna be very busy. You ever just like really love your life? Welcome to the next installment of Shaylin is living her best life. At the moment, sitting on a dock, I'm reading Treasure Island by Sarah Levine, not to be confused with the original Treasure Island. So I thought I would film a little clip here while I'm sitting out on the dock. It's the, what day is it? I think it's the 3rd. It's the Saturday. I thought I would do a little update on my writing because that's what this vlog is about. That's what this channel is about. I've been writing a lot of poetry lately. I think I've talked about this briefly in other vlogs, but in May, I set a goal of writing 10 poems for myself. And my intention was not to publish these poems, my intention was not to even make them good. My intention was basically to take the first step into learning how to write poetry. Because I've been reading poetry for about 1.5 years, or almost 2 years now, and I've just really been enjoying it. It's been a really nice addition to my reading lineup. I started to really appreciate poetry and be inspired by it, and I just started to become more and more interested in writing it because I feel like it was a form that made sense for me to explore because it strips back the plot, it strips back the character, and you're kind of left with the ghost of the narrative through the language, I guess. I kept getting lines for poems in my head, but I didn't really know how to continue them, and so in around May, I set myself this goal of writing 10 poems before September, because the way I kind of thought about it was, the reason I'd never written poems was I always just said I'm bad at it and I don't know how to write them. The fact of the matter is, if you've never done anything before, you're gonna be bad at it and you're not gonna know how to do it. And there was a time where I didn't write short stories and I was bad at short stories and I didn't know how to get ideas for them and I didn't know what they felt like, I didn't know what they looked like, and now I love short stories and they're a really important form to me. And I kind of thought, okay, there was a point in my life where I was at the exact same place with short stories where I am now with poetry, where it was like, I want to write these, I don't know how, and just doing it taught me how. And I thought, okay, well, before I abandon the notion of poetry and just decide that it's something I can't do, I should actually try learning how to do it. And before I resign to the fact that I just suck at it, you know? Because that's what I would always say, is I would just say, I'm bad at poetry, I suck at poetry. So that's why I don't write it. But I wanted to write it. And if you want to do something artistically, you should do it. And it doesn't matter if it's going to be bad, because you can learn. Do I ever think that I will ever be incredible at poetry? That's not my goal. I just want to explore it. I think that it's something that I would enjoy. So anyways, I have been writing the poems, and I am now writing poem number 9. And I feel like in the past 4 or 5 poems, it's really started to click for me. It's not like it's been a fully linear progression where every poem was better than the last poem, but I do feel like as I've started working on these 10 poems, I've really noticed an improvement. It's not that I think the poems are good, but I think that the poems are, like, I'm learning the process, I'm learning what a poem feels like inside my head, and I'm learning what an idea for a poem feels like. So I wrote a poem yesterday. I haven't fully settled on what variation the title is going to be, but currently the title is Getting My Blood Drawn to See If I'm an Extraterrestrial, which is a bit of a mouthful, but I feel like with poems, for the titles, I've been asking myself when titling them, like, what is the poem, quite simply? And quite simply, that's what this poem is. Yes, we all have questions, including myself. But I wrote it when I was coming over on the ferry yesterday, and I'm quite happy with it. This poem and the poem I wrote before, which is called Seeking REM in Montreal, are my 2 favorite poems that I've written. I really enjoy both of them. I feel like I think they're the best poems that I've written. I think they're the most interesting. And then I'm also currently working on another poem that's called Can I Join the Hunters of Artemis If I Don't Eat Meat? The other two poems that I talked about aren't really about me. Like, the narrator's not me. Artemis poem is, like, I am the narrator of that poem. It's fully my perspective, and it's me basically writing a job application to Artemis to be like, can I be one of your, like, maidens? It's basically me being like, Artemis, I think you're super cool, I want to hang out with you, I think I'm qualified for these reasons. So I'm excited to explore that poem more, because I think that it has a real concept. Like, a lot of the other poems I've written have started with a line, and then I had to work outwards from the line and then kind of figure out what the poem was about. But I think what my poems are about is often a little vague. Even the ones that I like a lot, I feel like the aboutness is a little iffy, like it's hard for me even to pinpoint, but I do feel like there's a feeling. Some of them, Montreal and Extraterrestrial, I'm just gonna call them by a shortened name, are, I think I'm pinpointing more of an aboutness, but they're more rooted in a feeling. But for my Artemis poem, I think that one actually has a concept. Like, instead of starting with a line that then turned into a feeling, it started with a concept. I was like, I'm going to write a poem that's me writing a job application to Artemis. This kind of started because once one of my friends told me that I had big Artemis energy. I feel kinship with her because of many reasons. I've been struggling with concept a lot with poems, and it was really cool to go, oh, this is what an idea for a poem feels like. You know? Because I know what an idea for a novel feels like, and I know what an idea for a short story feels like. But I was like, oh, I know what an idea for a poem feels like now. I'm gonna read for the afternoon and then probably write this evening, my guess is. That's my thoughts on poetry at the cabin.
I love this little part of this walk, eh? Yeah. It's a treasure. Why did they tell you
Hello, so it is August the 4th, it's Sunday. It's about 12:30, so this morning, I think you probably saw the clips from it, we just went for a walk. Yesterday night was very eventful. I was planning on writing. It ended up being a very eventful evening because first we got a bat in the house, eventually it vacated, and then we ended up just going outside to look at the stars. We had the telescope set up, and so we got an amazing view of the moon, and we're able to see Jupiter, Saturn, and Saturn was the coolest because through the telescope you could see the rings. At the moment I'm just chipping away at my poem, which is just turned into a big old love letter to Artemis. It's the longest poem I think it's the longest poem I've written. In terms of pages it's 5 pages. I feel like it's almost done. The first draft is almost done, but I'm still tinkering with it. So it's like 4:30. I'm having a read, still reading Treasure Island by Sarah Levine. I finished working on my poem, like the first draft of it. It needs a lot more tinkering. I think with poems, I'm so new that I don't really know how to take them beyond the first draft stage. Like, I write it, and then I'm like, okay, but I know poets, and I know that poets work a very long time on revision, and they spend a long time refining their poems, and I don't really know how to do that. Like, I don't know what that really looks like, though. And I also worked on my novel. It was my first dip back into the novel for a while, but I did write the full chapter called Blood Moon, which is my last chapter in part 1, so it felt very satisfying. It was a pretty short chapter. I'm not entirely done it, like I'm done the narrative part of it, but after all my chapters there's a little like fable section, which is kind of like I won't get into what it is anyways. There's a little like extra fable section, and the one for this chapter is quite long. So I'm working on that still, but I did finish like the actual narrative part of the chapter, though like I said, it's kind of too thin, I think, and it will be fleshed out a lot. Like, it's like not even 2,000 words. It's the shortest chapter in the book. There's not a lot of scenes, like there's really only one scene and then a very short scene afterwards, but still, considering how important it is, I think it's a little thin right now, but it's fine. It was nice to feel like I just finished part 1. I was like, wow, I'm about halfway through this book, maybe a little over halfway. So I'm back in the hammock because I'm living my best life. So this is our last day at the cabin. I think I just got a new idea for a short story. A lot of elements just kind of clicked together quite nicely. I have this desire to draft right now, but I just hit the point in my novel where I'm gonna have to go back to revise. So I think my brain was like, I need something for this bitch to draft. So I just dreamed up a little short story, and I'm kind of excited about it because my last short story that I wrote was not one that I think I'm going to include in my collection. I don't think it's going to work in the collection. Not that I need more stories for my collection, because I don't. But I think this one's going to maybe be a bit more full, and like this one's going to be a bit more like my style, whereas the other one was kind of just like a weird genre experiment that I don't normally do. It's another bird story. because I'm garbage and everything I write is about birds. I think some really cool ideas just came together for the backstory, which I'm really excited about. I think it's gonna be a weird, freaky kind of story. I'm not gonna say anything about what it's about yet, but it involves crows.
I usually just see them slithering away.
Yeah, they normally don't like stay this close.
Yeah. He definitely needs a name.
I know, I was just thinking
Snaky
that.
McSnake face.
I think something better than that, maybe.
Snaky McSnake.
You didn't see that? Someone.
Oh, these are interesting crackers.
That's gonna be in my clip about ravens.
I didn't know.
Oh wait, oh never mind. I thought I lost one of them for a second. We've been watching these ravens for like, how long have we been watching them for?
Half an hour.
Oh,
Ever so occasionally, they make a sound.
that sounds like bird.
They go bird.
Like
Bird.
I feel like they make it in the morning more because
Yes, they don't say the I. They say
No.
BRD.
yeah, bird.
Bird.
I remember hearing it on
Birded.
a camping trip. Maybe it was last time we were here, where I thought I woke up and I was like, why is someone standing outside my tent saying bird, bird, bird?
That's exactly what happened to me this morning. Why is someone outside flapping their arms saying bird? Oh, wait. I think it's a bird.
Oh, there they go. So it's like evening of the 13th and just doing a little Blair Witch Project check-in because you may never see me again. Not to be dramatic, but I did just find wolf paw prints on the beach, and it's not a very big island. So, if I die, which would be ironic because the night before we came here, I was talking to my family and I was like, you know, if I have to die, I would like to die being eaten by an apex predator because I feel like that's the natural order of things. That's why you don't make statements, folks.
He wants
he's
the
going
good
after
ones.
them.
It's like, oh, those are too much. I'm not going to